It seems that Harry's plan to seek free PR from the royal family has completely failed because recently a newspaper has confirmed that Harry was snubbed before the 10th anniversary of Invictus in London. Join us in analyzing this problem in detail in this video. Hello friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. According to the New York Post, Prince Harry is going to come visit London all by himself. No senior members of the royal family are planning to attend the UK Invictus Games event. In spite of calls to join together in the celebration to show solidarity, there hasn't been any move whatsoever from the palace. This is a clear sign that the relationship between Harry and his family has completely broken down. But this result was inevitable, I'm afraid, because of everything that Harry and Meghan have done. I mean, Harry just couldn't act like he didn't throw his family under the bus whenever he had the opportunity to do so. In spite of these alleged security concerns, Harry's expected to come to the event. Although we were hearing some rumors that he thought about canceling because of safety concerns after he lost taxpayer-funded security. And it looks like Meghan Markle is not going to be coming with him, thank God. She certainly has no reason to return to the UK. Many people reported feeling surprised when they found out that Meghan wasn't cooperating with Harry. So the fact is, even Harry isn't exactly welcome, but at least people are smart enough to understand that he does have a responsibility to Invictus. He does have a role to play, even though he hasn't done anything all that important, so he does have a reason to come back. Harry and Meghan also need to understand their reputations are ruined. Even Americans are not happy to be welcoming them. Now, in the US, people don't accept their stupid titles, so cosplaying royals in America makes no sense. And now Harry's planning to come back to Britain for his first real job since the start of the year. But I'm a bit skeptical when it comes to his abilities. We all know that it was not Harry all on his own who founded Invictus. Now, he maybe had the idea, but I'm kind of skeptical even about that claim. It was King Charles and the Prince and Princess of Wales who were the co-founders, and of course the Prince of Wales gave it to Harry. Essentially, Invictus is an organization created to help veterans. The mission of Invictus is incredibly noble, and I do support Invictus games. But look at what Harry and Meghan have turned it into since Meghan Markle got involved. There are many veterans that are sick and tired of hearing about Invictus games. They're tired of hearing about Harry and Meghan. Many people are offended by the way Harry and Meghan are using Invictus games to promote their third Commonwealth tour this year. And as for the £300,000 wardrobe Meghan Markle insists on having, I mean, obviously Invictus organization is missing out on that money. Such a slap in the face to real Invictus followers. Now, if you do a search about this, what are you going to find? There are no veterans interviewed, there are no photos of them in action. It's just all about where Harry and Meghan were, what she was wearing, how much it cost, which designer designed it. Oh, God. Basically, the opposite of what Invictus is supposed to be about. But it's much like everything else Harry and Meghan get close to. They have the reverse Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to crap. And it looks like that's what's happening with Invictus now. The reputation of the organization is going down quickly. There are some veterans who even went on strike, and they refused to participate in the games. Some people who have been donating money are upset, and they say they're planning to stop. And they're going to begin supporting different Paralympic Games in the UK or the US until Harry and Meghan are officially removed as patrons of Invictus, and I don't blame these people one bit. Honestly, I think Harry and Meghan should absolutely be removed. And maybe they can find somebody to replace Harry and Meghan who isn't just in it for the money and the fame. What a couple of grifters. And I thought that Mike and Zara were considering taking over. Now, they could probably earn a little bit of a profit, but they would at least be a lot more respectful and transparent too. Mike and Zara Tyndall would at least be a much better representation of what royalty is supposed to be, even though they're not even working royals. Just letting Harry and Meghan, though, take over and always having to be front and center, that has really ruined what Invictus is supposed to be about. Look at William, the Prince of Wales, on the other hand. He gave $1 million of his own. He got it from a court settlement from one of the British tabloids, and he gave the entire amount to Invictus. Harry hasn't donated anything. He just claims all kinds of expenses back from Meghan Markle and himself. And I'm not even talking about other aspects. I mean, just talking about Harry's sense of responsibility and dedication. He obviously cannot compare to his older brother. Somebody needs to be protecting the veterans from Harry dipping into their profits. I mean, all the profits from Invictus should go directly to the veterans. They do this with any charity they have been attached to, they're always skimming off the top. And when they first went back to America, Megan got the part in that elephant film. And she said that the money that she made, she was going to give back to the Elephant Foundation. Well, that was 5 years ago. And they're saying they haven't received a cent of the money Megan promised them. That is exactly what they're like, though. This is what Harry and Meghan do. They'll make this money for charity and then they pocket it because they're a couple of selfish grifters. That traitor, though, certainly should not be representing injured veterans. There is no place that welcomes these horrible people. The last time Meghan appeared at an Invictus Games event in Canada, she upset everybody there when she showed up in a private jet, of course, wearing all these different outfits, and she insulted the anthem too. And she spent thousands of dollars on stupid ski outfits for herself. So when are we going to see some major changes for this organization? Who is going to come and save it? I'm guessing Harry partially understood this when he risked everything to get his family involved. Because everybody had lost faith in Invictus, so he needed a bright spot for it. But this is not working. I mean, they're making the organization all about themselves, and they love to play the victim. But the game is up. They're finished. Harry himself abandoned his family first, so he has no right to ask his family for help right now. I simply can't imagine why Harry believes anybody would roll out the red carpet for him and Meghan at this point. After the horrible way he treated his family, including his late grandparents, Harry deserves everything that comes his way. In the past, when he had his little fits and when he was nasty to his family or anybody else, well, it was all swept under the rug. But this time, he's taken things way too public, and we can all see who he is and what he's done. So no, nobody's going to be welcoming him in the UK. And I do wonder if he's going to whine about the security arrangements when he comes this time, probably. Harry is so obsessed with seeming more important than what he really is. He's desperate for security. To be honest, though, he always has ample security when he comes to royal engagements or when he's staying in a royal residence. And he's not so entitled to it. I mean, if he wants to come in and out doing his own business, that's his business. The taxpayers do not need to pay for his security. That's something he needs to accept. When he walked away from his role and his duties, he walked away from the benefits he once enjoyed. And the crazy thing is, Harry still gets protection. It's just not the same level as his brother or his father. And if Harry really is worried about security, well, that's his own fault, with everything he told and Spare that he didn't need to tell. But in my opinion, this is not about security. Harry and Meghan want IPP status so that they'll get immunity wherever they go, so they can do whatever they want to without having to worry about any repercussions. The security, I think, would just be a bonus. The entire world can see what Harry and Meghan are all about. They just lied to serve their own ambitions. They don't want privacy. If they wanted privacy, they wouldn't be doing everything they can to get attention. The security issues are not all that different. I mean, so before Harry talks about how he doesn't feel safe in England, what about everywhere else he goes? The movie premiere in Jamaica? I mean, soon they're going to go to Nigeria? Harry and Meghan go all over the world, and they don't seem worried about security. But Harry has talked bad about his own homeland. I cannot understand the logic of these two. Supposedly, he's so worried about safety in London, but Nigeria is fine. No. I don't think it's about security. I think Harry's worried about being booed in London, which, yeah, he should be. Maybe he can wear a jacket to protect him from the tomatoes being hurled at his head. Both Harry and Meghan think they are so special, and they expect all the special benefits. Now, Harry, I thought he just walked out of the hotel last time. And remember how he ran away so fast he forgot 2 of his books in the room? They sure do have some nerve, though, expecting so much for doing absolutely nothing. I hope they have to stay in a crappy hotel without even having air conditioning. And you know Meghan is going to expect everything to be paid for, and she's going to expect the top level of luxury. Harry and Meghan deserve to be boycotted. I hope no Commonwealth country invites them to anything. I think everybody's had enough of those two. Meghan expects to be paid every time she shows up and does anything, and she expects to be treated like a queen. And remember, Harry will only listen to her at this point. And if they don't have exactly what they want, then they're going to sue. It seems like Harry forgot that he was always going to be given security while he's in the UK. But of course, the king cannot supply 24/7 security for Harry and Meghan wherever they are in different countries. The royal family can only pay security if there is a specific event. But if Harry and Meghan are just coming to the UK doing whatever it is they do, well, they'll be expected to pay for their security, of course. It could also be part of Harry's wish that the royal family attends Invictus with him, so he's going to have more security there, I guess. But the royal family needs to stay far away from those two. Harry and Meghan have also run out of content, and they're desperate for new material. They're probably going to use photos of Harry's family for their upcoming Netflix shows. But honestly, I think it's concerning. When no senior member of the firm attends the event, Harry's gonna be angry. And then what is he gonna do? He's gonna whine to the media that his family doesn't care about him, they don't support him. Wah, wah, wah. Well, I hope when that happens, the public comes out in full support of the royal family and nobody offers any sympathy to that traitor Harry. A couple of high-ranking members are having some serious health issues right now. They have much more important things to do than work with the person who stabbed them in the back. And wouldn't the best solution be for Harry to lose his status as a representative of Invictus anyway? And then he and Meghan wouldn't be related to the organization whatsoever. I mean, Meghan and Harry have just misused Invictus, turned it into Invictus. They are so shameful, but the bad thing is they feel no shame. It doesn't really matter where Harry and Meghan go, they're not going to receive a welcoming reception like what they want. I mean, he's a really poor representative for Invictus. Who wants a traitor hanging out with these brave veterans? And Meghan demands all these designer clothes for herself, she has to stay in 5-star hotels, she has to have her special food, and of course, they've got to get some cash in their pockets as well. Harry and Meghan do not give anything to charities, they just take. So I think Invictus really needs to distance themselves from Harry and Meghan. It's a real shame too. I mean, at one point in time, Harry was passionate about Invictus. But now, look at him. Obviously, the only thing he really cares about is that narcissistic wife. It's crazy to me too that Harry still cannot see the problems that he's experienced thanks to Meghan. Or maybe he has realized it, I don't know. But Harry has burned all his bridges, so it's not like he can come back to his family now. And I think he's too much of a coward, too arrogant to admit that he made a huge mistake when he married her. So he's going to act like everything's okay, like he never did anything wrong, and he's going to continue down this same path even though it's an incredibly self-destructive path. He'll sue just for the sake of security, but he's not really worried about security. I mean, that much is obvious by the way he travels everywhere whenever he wants to. He's just trying to save face. And more importantly, he's feeling spiteful. He's angry because he didn't get his way. He couldn't force the UK taxpayers to pay his security bill that's a lot more expensive than basically anybody else. I mean, Prince William goes out for a jog in Central Park. Princess Anne goes out and about with minimal security, but Harry, oh no, he's got to be protected. Harry's also pissed because he didn't get diplomatic immunity like he wanted. I suspect that Harry's attempt to have special confidentiality is partly because he doesn't want some of his affairs exposed, or Meghan Markle's either. There are so many dark, shady things happening in their lives, and this issue with Diddy could be a problem for Harry too. So maybe he's also trying to distract us from the African Parks charity scandal. I do find it a bit rich that he can go to Nigeria, he can talk about how much he loves Africa, but he cannot release one simple statement in support of the Baka people who are enduring some really horrific atrocities right now. I mean, why is this not front page news? Why do we not see photos of Harry attached? And how insulting is it that Harry is not prepared to travel to Britain without top-level security because the UK is so dangerous for him? But he has no problem whatsoever with traveling to Nigeria. I mean, are there going to be any dangerous setups created by these two, like the New York City near catastrophic car chase, perhaps? Well, we can look forward to that at least. The only reason Harry claims he will not be protected in the UK is because, well, he's worried about being booed in public. He knows Brits are upset with him, of course, and Meghan too, and he doesn't want to face the criticism. They really are so thin-skinned, and they can't handle what people want to say to them. Harry had all the privileges in the world, and as well as all the chances and opportunities, but he screwed everything up. If he were not such a horrible person, I would almost feel sorry for him. Or maybe he's scared of being snubbed ahead of the 10th anniversary of Invictus. Well, with everything he and Meghan have done, how could the royal family not snub them? Harry and Meghan act like they are owed everything, but they're not owed anything after everything they have done. And think about everybody they have hurt. So, of course, right now, they're not going to receive the support from the royals they're wanting. I mean, maybe Meghan was told that she wouldn't be welcome at the games. I would love that. Meghan never had any business showing off her clothes, making the event all about herself. She shouldn't have been there in the first place. I did hear that hundreds of veterans refused to participate if the event was going to be overshadowed by Meghan again. And that's exactly what they needed to do. I mean, they risked their lives and their mental health to serve in the military. They survived, even though they were wounded. And so, as a privilege, they get to march behind a former mattress actress at the Wounded Warrior Games? Really? Who are they kidding? Meghan is not even royalty. I mean, could you imagine if you showed up and saw her there wearing that inappropriate clothing? I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I watched Meghan walk in front of the veterans wearing shorts and flip-flops. I just was shocked. I mean, God, I couldn't believe that even she would do that. Meghan Markle is so trashy. I mean, somebody with more class and intelligence should be involved in Invictus. She doesn't have either, so she can just stay away. And as long as Meghan is involved, I'm certainly not going to donate any of my money to Invictus. I'm still surprised that Invictus is putting up with so much from Harry and Meghan for such a long time. Maybe Harry needs to pay his fees himself and not collect money to be at the games he created. I do feel bad, though, for the veterans, because they deserve to get the attention. They deserve to be front and center. And I'm wondering why Invictus was given to Harry anyway. I did think that Mike Tyndall had become a patron, and I thought people in the military, including the CEO, didn't want to see Harry at any Invictus events anymore. Because Harry has commercialized Invictus, and so he's made it impossible for his family to really be involved. You know Netflix would be so excited if a member of the firm would be there. I wish the veterans would just demand that Harry step down. He has lost all respect. I mean, he went against military code in spare, and he's also allowed Meghan Markle to hijack the games to make it into her fashion show. Neither of them are worthy of being Invictus representatives. The arrogance that Harry shows us is outrageous. I'm stepping back from the royal family. Pay for my security. So he just walks away because he thinks he can be more successful without his family. And then he turns around and milks the connection to his family for cash because that's all he's got. So I think Invictus needs to cut ties with Harry completely. And I don't blame any of the senior members of the royal family for not wanting to see Harry while he's in the UK. Nobody can trust him. I mean, Harry's ship has sailed. There are not many people at this point who are interested in Invictus because Harry and Meghan are going to be there. They've turned it into the Harry and Meghan show. The way that Meghan led the Soldiers' March last year, so offensive. I think it would be much better if there were no rooms available for Harry in Britain whenever he wants to go there. I know that if I owned a hotel or a motel, there's no way I would let Harry or Meghan stay there. King Charles has already said that Harry has to give advance notice to stay in a royal property, and that he's welcome to stay at Buckingham Palace if he gives advance notice. So he can stay in the palace, he just has to let them know 28 days in advance. Harry can even have security when he gives enough notice to the government. So he should really forget about this whole security issue, and he should focus on his failing organization. As we have seen over and over again, Harry and Meghan continue to make Invictus all about them instead of the veterans. Harry and Meghan should really just back out of Invictus altogether, because the way they're running it, it's not about the veterans anymore. It's all about Meghan and what she's wearing. Donors and athletes are pulling out of Invictus because of the shift to promoting Harry and Meghan. So, no, we can't blame the royal family for not wanting to participate if this event isn't successful. And it doesn't really matter what the circumstances are. There's no royal who is going to attend an event for a charity that they're not even a patron of. I mean, this is supposed to be Harry's charity. There is an invisible line here that's never crossed. So why is the royal family receiving backlash for not coming to the event, but nobody says a thing about Meghan never coming to any event with Harry in the UK? After all, isn't she supposed to be his wife? Shouldn't she be there? Shouldn't she be waiting for everybody to grovel at her ugly feet? I do feel bad for the veterans. They're the ones who are really losing out in this whole mess. They're not getting much attention to start with, and now Harry is taking that very little bit away from them. I do hope many veterans are sending letters right now to Invictus management, letting them know that they're not happy with the involvement of the self-serving car parcels. I would think most veterans are more embarrassed by Harry's attendance at Invictus than anything else. Harry and Meghan just use Invictus as their own way to make money by taking millions from what's supposed to be for the veterans. Egos have destroyed the spirit of Invictus, and the only people who apparently don't get it are the board members. So please, can we start hearing more from the actual veterans? I want to hear their names. I want to hear about how they overcame their challenges. I want to see photos of them. I don't want to hear anything about Harry and Meghan. I'm sick and tired of Harry and Meghan and their Invictus games. So hand the games over to somebody who really cares, somebody who's not going to try to make money from Invictus. The veterans deserve so much better than those two grifters. And they certainly should not have received any money for attending, especially for Meghan's wardrobe or the hotel she insists on staying in. All that money should have been kept safe for the veterans. Harry hasn't given any money to the games, instead he just takes it. And I do wonder, if Harry were told that he wasn't going to get any money from attending, if he would even care, would he even go? If he were told that his expenses were not going to be covered, would he still be willing to be a patron? If Harry were expected to volunteer his time and his money for the charity, would he still have any interest? Probably not. And now Harry is taking all the credit for founding Invictus. And it's also being reported that he and Meghan founded it, which is absolutely not true. Invictus started in 2014. That was years before Harry ever had the misfortune of meeting Meghan Markle. Another obvious lie. And is Harry going to mention all the help that came from his family when it came to Invictus? He's probably going to act like he did everything all by himself. He's completely changing the story of Invictus's creation. I mean, even the nature of the games is being changed by the grifters. Invictus is now promoting the Harry and Meghan show, not the veterans. It really is pathetic. Harry and Meghan have ruined it. Now, I do donate my money to other veteran-focused organizations, but these are organizations that actually stick to their mission and make sure that the donation money goes to the people who deserve it. But these hypocrites have made what was once a worthy organization all about themselves. Invictus is supposed to be about the wounded vets, but Harry is so self-absorbed and Meghan is too, they can't stand to not get all the attention. At one point in time, I thought Harry cared about veterans, but obviously not. He just cares about his safety. It's so embarrassing that an adult man is always whining about needing security because he feels so unsafe. I have never heard anybody whine so much about it, including other royal family members, movie stars, world leaders. Nobody is as worried about their security as Harry is. Poor baby. Thinks he's in so much danger when he's in Britain. He expects British taxpayers to pay for him and that nasty, evil succubus he married. Well, Harry and Meghan were the ones who chose to step down from their positions as working royals so they can give up on this idea that the taxpayers of Britain are going to pay for their security. And they also need to give up any hopes that the royal family is going to participate in Invictus games with Harry. The family doesn't want to spend time with him, and we can understand why. I'm not sure how Harry could even imagine for a moment that his former family wants anything to do with him at this point, after everything he has said and done to try to hurt them. Harry apparently feels abandoned by his family. Well, what does he call what he did to them? I mean, he abandoned his whole country and he went to fake Hollywood to air his family's dirty laundry from the disgusting city of angels. I mean, Harry, I just call this reaping what you've sown. And that does bring us to the end of this video. If you agree with my opinion, please comment. And if not, please let me know why so that we can better understand your opinion. Don't forget to like and share this video. Your support is our motivation. And don't
be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.